Hi everyone, Marty here. I wanted to post a video today about the new Rokon seat option. I've looked around to see if I could find any information on it, and it's pretty sketchy, so I'm going to do a video, a little installation video, and kind of show you the real up-close photos of it. So here we go. Okay, so here we are taking a look at what comes in the box. You have the seat and the bracket and the hardware. And I'll get down here to where you can see the bracket pretty good. It has all the adjusting holes and where it fastens to the bike. Then over here, I'll take this seat, which really looks nice, and I'll flip it over so we can see the bottom side. And there's the mounting bracket where it mounts to the bracket, and then underneath here you can see the spring and how it adjusts for different weights. So I've been busy. I've taken off the side covers on my Trailbreaker, and the tools that you're going to need for this job is your regular Rokon equipment, your 1/2 inch, 9/16, 7/16 wrench. So after I got all my stuff together, I came over here and I've actually taken the bolts off the front of the seat, and I've removed the bolts holding the shock mount on. The reason I'm swapping this out is this seat is, after putting about 50 hours on it, I realized this seat is entirely too soft, and the shock absorber doesn't really work for a guy that weighs 160 pounds like myself. I get almost no action out of it at all. So it really wasn't very comfortable and didn't work very well. So I would recommend, if you're a lighter guy, you really consider getting this upgraded seat right from the get-go. So let me get that off and then I'll get back to you. Okay, you can see that I have the seat off here with the shock absorber. Now I'm going to hang on to that shock absorber because I noticed in the parts manual that has the same part number as the front shock on my auto grabber. So I believe I'm just going to hang on to it. And what I've done here is I've put the mounting bracket on for a quick little dry run just to see what needs to be done here and how it fits. And up under here you can see back in here is this saddle that sits right over the main backbone of the bike, and I wanted to make sure that had a good fit. And then this bracket comes down and it bolts to this little gusset here. I can see now that there's about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch here once this is bolted up here, and in location you've got this gap, and so we're going to have to shim that to make it fit. Apparently they got this bracket right here a little bit short, or it's twisted up, so I'll have to figure that out, and well, I'll get back with you in just a minute. Okay, here we are back with the seat project, and what I'm doing here is just a dry fit, and you can see where I've taken and just put the bolts in loosely and have the seat here mounted up, and underneath here you can see where these I've just got them bolted loosely. They're not pulled down tight. And I'm checking this down in here where that saddle fits on. I was checking that. And one thing I found is that if you want to use that front hole, which is way up under here, the front mounting hole, see it right there? Well, if you want to use that, you're going to have a domed washer, because you can see I'm using the second hole, and you can see where that nut barely clears that backbone tube. So when you use the front one, it actually hits it, and you probably need a rounded Allen head pan type screw. So let's go over here to the other side, and I think what I've discovered just by looking at the bike and the way the seat fits, that this gap that we have here, I'm probably going to need to pull out about half of that to bring my seat around level. I'll make that final adjustment here in a few minutes. So It looks like it's going to fit. Again, I'm choosing the second hole back. The first hole up here is really, it puts the seat right up against the tank, so every time the seat would go down, it's going to push into this leather into the tank and wear on it. So I thought I sat on the bike and it just seems like it'd be just fine setting one hole back. And I'm about 5'10", 160 pounds. So just so you get an idea. Okay, here we are. We've drilled the 1/4 inch closer to 5/16 hole. What I did, I put a bunch of stuff around, cloth over my disc brake, and I put a piece of duct tape over these 3 holes so we wouldn't get any metal shavings inside the spring. And I'm going to do a little back job, get it all cleaned up, and then we'll give it a test run. Okay, here we are at the final portion of this video, and we have a completed project. The seat is on. I'm going to try to get a better shot. I haven't really got in there and adjusted that spring yet for my weight. That's the next step. Where that bolt is right here, and this air cleaner can is, you have to kind of work that around so you don't have a collision there. Looks like it might maybe rub a hole in the air cleaner. But the project came out real clean. I'm real happy with it. The seat's on there real good. Lessons learned over here on this little guy right here, where we had to put a few shims under here. When you set this down on here and lay out your hole, if this isn't pretty much where you want it, this little bracket will rest on this weld, and so you have to kind of make sure that you have it lined up right so that you get the right angle of the hole, which is not straight up and down or perpendicular. It's kind of a funny little angle. And then you need to get it off the weld and give it a solid platform to screw to. You need to put some shims in there. So that's the end of that, and hope that this helps anybody that's putting one of the new Rokon seats on.